Hello, everybody. My name is Barbara Drazga with the Bundle Masterclass. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/deal diva. I'll show you that link here real quick. And tonight we're going to talk about how to create bulletproof bundles to sell on Amazon and off Amazon. So you can create product bundles that you can sell on eBay, Etsy, your own website. But tonight we're going to focus more on Amazon, but just know that you have the ability to sell them off Amazon. And I'm going to kind of throw out a challenge to everyone tonight that if you follow the 6 steps I'm going to show you tonight, you'll be able to get a bundle done easily within 30 days. And in fact, that's a pretty a generous amount of time. In fact, I think you can do it in shorter than 30 days if you really focus and follow my steps. So I'm going to go ahead and teach you those 6 steps tonight, and here's what we're going to cover. So you're going to learn. Now, I know that you can read these off for yourself, but I'm going to do it anyway because I think we remember things better when we read it and we hear it being said. So here we go. You're going to learn the number one thing that you have to do before you create any bundle, before you go out and buy any product, nothing, okay? How to find what your competitors are selling and how to do it better. So I'm going to show you a good listing and a bad bundle listing and tell you why they're good and bad. How to plan your bundles before you spend 1 penny on inventory. I know a lot of folks who go out and just start buying stuff and then put it all out on their living room floor and say, okay, I wonder what can go together. And I'm going to show you a better way to do that so you don't end up with like boxes full of random inventory on rolling shelves. You know who you are, because some of you in this group I know have a secret little room where you've got these these boxes of just stuff you don't know what to do with. So I'm going to help you learn a better way to bundle. How to discover wholesale and factory sources for your bundle items and companies that will white label their existing products with your company brand on it, with your brand, so that you have your own brand right out of the gate creating a bundle. How to keep competitors from hopping on your listing forever. I'm going to show you 3 or 4 ideas on what you can put in your bundle so that nobody can recreate your bundle. And then, of course, I'm going to give you a little secret on how to create versions of your bundle for different fanatical niches and why doing this allows you to leverage pricing on some of your bundle items. So is everybody ready? Are you ready to dig in? If you have any questions, by the way, go ahead and put them in the chat, but I'm not going to answer questions throughout the presentation because I want to keep the flow of the presentation. I will answer what I can at the end of the presentation. And just so you know, the Bundle Masterclass is open for registration. It's at bundlemasterclass.com. I'm going to give you a code for 50% off, or $50 off. That'd be great if it was 50%. I can't do that, I'm sorry. But $50 off, bringing the Bundle Masterclass to $299, and you'll get the entire class plus the mastermind group, and I'm going to tell you all the bonuses you get and everything you get with that at the end of the presentation. But first, I'm going to give you a ton of information and my 6-step approach, so be sure you write it down, so you can leave this presentation right out of the gate starting to research your own bundles. So go to facebook.com/group/deal diva or go to bundlemasterclass.com and you can put your email address in the little opt-in box and get on my newsletter if you're not already. So let's get started. Let's just dig in. I'm going to make sure that I've got the chat covered here. I'm going to come over here. Now remember, you can ask questions in the chat, but I'm probably not going to look at the chat until more towards the end of the presentation. So I just want to make sure everybody can hear me. Good stuff. Okay, we're going to keep going. Here we go. You ready, guys? Everybody ready? Say, I'm ready in the chat. Here we go. Get your water. And number 1. Before number 1, you probably need to know why you should listen to me, right? Because who is this person? So I've been selling online since 1996. In fact, I created my first bundle back then, but I didn't know it was a bundle. I was just creating, I think it was a private label product, but then I put them together. So I created these this design using, emoticons, emojis. Well, we had emoticons back in the day, where it was basically a smiley face, a wink, a kiss. There was like a dozen of them, and that's it. So I just created this Word document with all a dozen on it. I popped it on a mug, a t-shirt, and a mouse pad, and I sold them on eBay. And then I bundled them together to sell on eBay, right? So it was real low tech. I didn't know what I was doing, but I did it anyway, which is, I highly recommend that, sometimes we tend to overthink things. Make sure that you are you know, that when you learn something new, you're trying to implement it right away so you don't get kind of stuck in overwhelm. So I'm an active Amazon seller. There are a lot of folks who teach selling on Amazon and they don't actually sell on Amazon. So for me, it's really important that I'm an active Amazon seller so that as I learn things and as Amazon changes, because, you know, Amazon changes all the time, as they change their terms of service and what you're allowed to do and not allowed to do, then I'm on the cutting edge of that. So I can add any new content, anything new I learn, I can add that to the course and any training I bring you. So I'm an active Amazon seller. I am 80% wholesale and about 20% private label, and I'm moving more into private label as well. Having gone to China a year ago in April, I'm going again this April for a longer trip. And it takes a little bit longer to build out your own private label brands, but I have this great wholesale and bundles base of income that allows me that freedom to build out that longer term strategy. I do not consider myself a guru. I hate that word. Well, hate is a strong word. I cringe at the term guru. I think a lot of folks give themselves that moniker out of ego, and I prefer to look at myself as a practitioner. And it comes back to that I'm actively in there. I'm in the trenches with you as an Amazon seller, learning new things as they change. So I am practicing what I teach. So I consider myself a practitioner. I also have multiple streams of income. I have physical products. I sell offline, locally. I sell on my own websites. I sell on Amazon. I do real estate investing. I have a publishing company in the energy industry, and I do training and consulting for various industries, with the Amazon seller industry being one of them. And I'm always learning. I am going to, I think, 6 events in the first 4 months of the year, 6 or 7 events. So with like a week in between the events or 2 weeks into the events, including Hong Kong, China, San Diego, Orlando. I just got back from Denver, the private label university. So I'm always learning. And when I learn new things, I bring those things after practicing them and implementing them and getting really familiar with them. I learn that the things and I bring them into the content. So any new content that I learn regards to bundling goes into the course. And you get lifetime access to Bundle Masterclass, by the way, when you enroll. Okay, so you know a little bit about myself. So now let's get into the stuff that's totally relevant to you. Enough about me. Why should you bundle? Well, seller saturation. More and more sellers are coming onto Amazon Marketplace, and a lot of them don't know what they're doing, and they'll price tank, and you know, they just they go for the low-hanging fruit, and they're happy to make 50 cents on an item, tanking the prices on wholesale products, etc. Brand restrictions. Last year, Amazon implemented a ton of brand restrictions over the course of the last 12 months. Plus, we had a lot of fake sellers come on. So you're protecting yourself when you can find a way to own the listing. And creating your own private label, your own branded products is one way to do it, but that could take a much larger investment, a much higher quantity buy, and a much longer time frame to get new products to market. So bundling is a great way to do small scale private label in a way and own your listing. It's easy entry private label. As Amazon will favor brand owners more and more, as opposed to somebody who's just doing RA or OA, sourcing product wherever and jumping on listings so you have 50 sellers. Amazon, their number one mandate is customer experience for their buyers. So when we bring bundles, when we bring products to the Amazon Marketplace, it increases the value of the Amazon Marketplace for Amazon and their customers. So Amazon likes having new brands and new products coming onto their marketplace because it helps them meet their mandate of customer service and customer experience. So control of your listing details. This is key. If you own the listing, you own you create that listing, and you control your keyword research and your title and description and bullets and photos. Okay, and the more pieces of a listing you control, the better it is for you. Okay, so let's keep going. I'm going to make sure I've got Rebecca Allen. Looks like she's in my video here. Rebecca, I'm gonna find out how to turn off your video here. There we go. Okay, so guys, don't turn on your video. Okay, so my approach to bundling is a little bit different than some other people's approaches to bundling. A lot of people just, basically they'll go to the dollar store. Nothing wrong with that, but they'll go to the dollar store and kind of haphazardly buy a bunch of stuff that looks like it's related before they do any market research whatsoever. So my approach is you start with market research before you source one product, before you design a bundle out, before you even look at products. You do market research first. And your goal is to identify passions and problems that have a large enough market size that and decent enough competition, but not too much competition, so that with related products, so that you can meet you can solve a problem for a customer, or you can feed their passion in a way that makes them say, shut up and take my money when they see your bundle. The next thing I do is I identify competition. Again, I haven't sourced one product yet. I want to see who's in the competitive space. Maybe they're not selling bundles, but they're selling products to a niche market that I have identified. And then I build and evaluate bundle concepts on paper. And in the Bundle Masterclass, you get a bundle planner that you can print out, and you can also do it virtually, so you can kind of put pieces, different products, and move things around, and price points and suppliers in there, and then put the puzzle together before you source any products. And then I evaluate bundle concepts by ordering small quantities and testing a bundle out. Instead of investing in 1,000 pieces, I'll test a couple of dozen or even a dozen and get traction, and then tweak and refine my listings, my packaging, etc., to improve upon that test. And then I identify suppliers. Then I create a custom piece which will lock down my listing, one of the ways to lock down a listing. Then I test, and then I refine, and I market off Amazon and on Amazon. So I use Amazon pay-per-click, but then I drive my own traffic from Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. There's so many ways you can drive traffic off of Amazon onto your listing. And Amazon, by the way, loves it when you bring new customers onto their platform. And then I automate the process. Once I have a bundle locked down, I start automating that and outsourcing whatever I can outsource for the creation of that bundle. And then I lather, rinse, and repeat. Now, what I like to do, here's something I didn't put in the outline. What I like to do is create, but once I find a fanatical niche market, I like to create different bundles to meet that passion or problem. So that way I might have 6 or 7 completely different bundles or related bundles, but meeting that one passion. Okay, so let's keep going. Step 1, niche market research, which simply means you want to really know your market. You really want to understand your market before sourcing. So as I'm talking about niche market research, go ahead and put in the chat some passions and some problems. So things that people are passionate about. But I want you to think past the ordinary, right? Past the obvious. So people are passionate about dogs. That's kind of the obvious. But niche that down. For example, it might be people with miniature female poodles or elderly dogs with hip problems. You see how niche that is? And then also problems. What are some problems that people have? So it could be insomnia, but that's kind of global, right? So we want to niche that down to insomnia in children, insomnia for college students, insomnia for working moms, right? So niche it down and just start putting those in the chat, and I'll breeze over to the chat in a few minutes and see what kind of ideas you came up with. And there's no wrong answer. I just want I want to challenge you to think really niche. Like it's not just bird watchers, but people who like bird watching on the East Coast during winter, for example, or bird feeders for hummingbirds, right? Okay, then the next thing we do during our niche market research is we conduct deep keyword research. And some of the tools I use, and there are a lot of them out there, but here are the ones I start with: merchantwords.com, Scope, Google Trends, and like I said, there are a lot. There's Ace Inspector, there's keywords.io or keyword.io. There are a lot of different keyword research tools, but these are just a few to start with. Oh, by the way, grab a pen. I'm going to give you merchantwords.com is like $35 a month. But if you do merchantwords.com/deal-diva, you get it for, I think, $9 a month or $7 a month. So it's merchantwords.com/DEALDIVA. and you get it for really cheap. Okay, and then you want to look for niches where you can combine high volume keywords, and I call those mashups. So an example of that could be somebody who likes princess, but they also like, well, maybe that's not, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I will eventually. So I like having two highly researched target markets, but you mash them together. So it could be somebody who likes unicorns and mermaids, right? So, and that's actually kind of a crossover. I talked about this in one of my other videos. People who like unicorns also kind of like mermaids, and they dress up like mermaids, and they have unicorn parties. There's a bit of a mashup between those two fanatical markets. And that's just one example. We can think of a lot of others too, but that's just one example. Okay, step two. Types of bundles. There's gift bundles, solution bundles, project kits. So it could be, here are all of the things you need to make Easter eggs, for a schoolroom of 30 kids. That's project kit. Ready to give gifts could be a finished bundle where it's all in a gift box, a nice gift box with gold. It could be like a set of sunglasses with a matching scarf and some gloves, all in a gift box, right? That's a ready to give gift. Bulk products. I like bulk products because I could source, let's say, 500 stuffed unicorns, but what I'll do is put a dozen together, and that's actually a multi-pack. But what I might do is a dozen stuffed unicorns with a dozen unicorn headbands, right? And a dozen sticker packs with unicorns and a dozen gift bags, right? And that'll be a unicorn birthday party pack. I like doing, so instead of just doing, one of each, I'll do a dozen of each. So that for stay-at-home moms, for homeschoolers, for daycares, for classrooms, for moms who are just, or dads who are throwing a party for a dozen kids that's unicorn themed, right? And then decoration kits. These are just a few types of bundles, but there's so many more. And I'm going to show you a couple of examples of bundles in this presentation. So hang tight. Okay, seasonal topics versus evergreen. Now, I like evergreen bundles. And by evergreen, that means it's a bundle that meets a need or feeds a passion that is year-round, so that I have that income year-round. So one of the markets I'm in, for example, is people who own gun safes. So gun owners. So that's a year-round passion, right? So you could do a holster with we'll brainstorm bundle ideas later. If I get started brainstorming bundles ideas, we could be here for a couple of hours. So evergreen bundles are bundles that sell year round. And then you can supplement your evergreen bundles with seasonal bundles, which is pretty, obvious. New Year's would be fitness and health and productivity and organization, and Easter and Valentine's. Mother's Day, camping, hunting, sports for the summer, back to school come July, August, right? So we all know about seasonal, but I don't like to build only seasonal bundles because then I'm always having to build new bundles for an upcoming season. I like to use seasonal bundles as filler, as my supplement to my evergreen bundles. So you want to make sure that you're not caught in that always having to source new bundles because you only have seasonal. So during Easter, my example was go bulk, like I just said, and then niche it down. So you could do, my sister-in-law was really good at this. One year at Christmas, she made an Easter basket for every member of the family based on what our love was. And mine was a garden Easter basket. And she made it herself, but there's a mashup, Easter basket and garden lover, right? So think of all the niches you could create an Easter basket for. When I was a kid, the first Easter basket I bought, I was 9 years old, and I sold greeting cards door to door just so I could buy this basket that was on the top shelf of a Rite Aid. I remember it's a very visual thing every year, and I was 9 years old, so it was a long time ago, but it had a camera in it. And I wanted that camera. Like a little dinky plastic 110 film camera back in the day, right? But I wanted it. So you could do, for example, I didn't care about anything else in that Easter basket, but I wanted that camera in that basket. So how about a camera lovers? It's not as relevant anymore because, of course, people use their cell phones as camera. But think how you can do a mashup. Go niche on your Easter bundles, for example. Okay. Examples. Here's some examples of niching it. So, and these different types of bundles. So here's a classroom bundle of, all decorating a classroom for Valentine's Day. And this is kind of cute. I found this on Pinterest, this Peeps, how they made this box out of Peeps. Now, I wouldn't recommend necessarily that you make the box, but you could sell a kit, a do-it-yourself kit, with an instruction book that has the Peeps in there and the eggs and some jelly beans to go in the eggs and the ribbons and everything they need to create this this craft product, right? And then here's bulk eggs. If any of you guys have a Dollar Tree around you, who doesn't, right? Some of you guys in Canada don't, but they have emoji Easter eggs and poop emoji Easter eggs. And they're two separate products. So, 3 of each of those, and some little some little chocolates, right? Be a cute little bundle. Okay, and then the organizer bundle. I really like this. I found this. I don't know where I found it. Does it say? Walmart.com, I don't know, but look at that. They put together a door organizer and some closet organizers and hangers. This is a great bundle here for $45. I also like that price point. And then the Bundle Masterclass, we do talk about price points. I try to keep my bundle price points more than $25 because all the work that goes into it, and if you use a prep center, you're going to have to pay a prep center. Plus, I'm in this to make money, okay? So if I'm selling $12, $10 bundles, I'm not making a lot of money, and we are in this as a business. So I look for a good price point, $25 to $50, and so should you. Okay, so look at Pinterest is another great idea. I just looked up classroom Valentine's gifts to get ideas for bundles, for bulk bundles for classrooms, or for decoration bundles for classrooms. So Pinterest is a great place to start research. There should be some brainstorming here in the chat. I'm going to scooch over the chat here and see what you guys came up with. What kind of bundles did you? Now remember, I'm not going to answer so many questions in the chat right now. Let's just look at what ideas you came up with. Artisanal cheeses. Ooh, yum, yum. Hormonal acne. Very cool. Oh, that's very cool. British chocolates. Yum. Or how about like international chocolates, Lou? Where you have a bundle of chocolates from 4 different countries or 6 different countries with a tasting guide of how to taste those chocolates with wine. So hidden spelling puzzles, books for children's, yes. So Joy Bell, I'm worried about the price range on that. You would have to create like a bundle of 6 of them with crayons, or maybe for a classroom bundle with 4 different sets or 6 different sets. Recipes on how your own powdered seasonings, yes. Package it for FBA. Okay, we'll talk about the packaging in the Bundle Masterclass. You can also go to my Facebook group, which is facebook.com. I'll put it in the chat here, facebook.com/groups/Deal Diva. And any more involved questions like about packaging, etc., and how to prep, you can put those in the group. Wendy, you can put it, there we go. Dogs, dog rescue, pit bull. How about pit bull rescue? Senior dogs. And Leslie, I love how you niched down the dog rescue. My neighbor had this English setter who was a rescue. English setters have apparently this genetic disorder that at a certain age, the show dogs, at a certain age, first of all, there's a lot of English setters that are used to show dogs. And at a certain age, they start losing their hearing. So that's a really specific thing for a specific breed. So how about a bundle for deaf or hard of hearing impaired English setters, or maybe a clicker or hand signal guide or whatever, right? Okay, so great ideas, fabulous ideas. Again, with more in-depth questioning, go ahead and just go to facebook.com/group/Deal Diva. Put your questions in that group and I will answer them in depth there. Competitive research, step 2. I'm going to kind of ramp up the speed if that was possible, right? So just so we can get through a lot of content. Identify what's being sold on Amazon with your keywords. So after you do a little keyword research for a niche that you've identified, you want to see who's selling what. And they don't necessarily have to be selling bundles, right? You want to find out what is being offered to the niche market that you've chosen to go after. This will also give you ideas of products that you can start building a bundle around. Identify sales volume for products in your niche. You guys have, I'm sure you've heard of Jungle Scout, Market Intelligence by Viral Launch. I actually use both of those. They're Chrome I use both the Chrome extensions. And that tells me kind of, if I see a couple of related products that are selling to my niche and they look like they have a pretty good rank, I want to know how many they're selling a month. So I'll use those tools to identify it. And then identify holes in the market. So the way I look at that and weaknesses in the product, I look at what people are saying in the reviews and what questions they're asking on these products so that I can see where these products can be improved by maybe adding another couple of other products to it. And then you want to identify weaknesses in the listing. If this listing has poor photographs and it's got an interesting product that serves a problem or serves a passion, but the listing is just not very good, and you can do better by having that product in a bundle and doing an even better listing, that's actually a good thing. Okay, so make your bundle irresistible. Here's my goal when they see my listing. They're searching for a keyword term, and they get this list of page 1, page 2 of Amazon listings, and all the products kind of look the same, and then they see my image for my product. I want them to say, click, shut up and take my money, because I've created such an irresistible offer because I know what they want, because I've done my market research before creating the bundle, right? I really understand my ideal buyer. So when I do that research up front, I increase my chances of my buyers saying, buy now, without really having to think about it. You want to create an added value experience. Ask yourself, if I was the buyer of this bundle, what would add value to that bundle? Don't just throw a bunch of stuff in there to make it look like it's valuable. That's not adding value to the experience of the buyer. And your initial research is going to reveal what your customer wants and needs. Make it unique. So don't be a Me Too seller. Don't look at what somebody else is doing and just do the same thing they are and make it a different color. Really, when you're in the heart and the mind of your buyer, then you can create these unique bundles that nobody else thinks about. You just kind of get creative. And I teach you some creative problem-solving tools in the Bundle Masterclass too. So don't worry, I got you covered. And ask the right questions. You don't ask, what can I throw in this bundle? I see listings all the time with somebody who's selling, a bundle of I don't know, dog toys, and then they put a key ring in there that has nothing to do with the dog toys and isn't even like dog related. And they just threw it in there so that nobody could jump on their listing. Well, that's not the reason to throw in any product. You don't throw in products to a bundle. Every single product you put in a bundle should be deliberate and well thought out and relevant to the bundle and the customer. So you want to ask yourself this question: what else does my ideal buyer want or need? And then you choose your bundle products based on the answers you get to those questions. Okay, do's and don'ts. No Me Too products. No, I call them bundle stuffing. Don't stuff a bunch of junk in there. Non-optimized listing creation. Don't just throw up a listing. You want to, it's all about being deliberate in every step of the process in creating a bundle. And that comes to when you create your physical listing, make sure you've got amazing images of your bundle, all the different pieces, the back, the front, the inside, maybe lifestyle pieces, which is your bundle being put to use. And I've got a couple of photographers who will actually create some of these photos for you and do an amazing job for you. And you can hit me up on Facebook and I'll pass the information on to you. Poor photos it doesn't matter how great your bundle is. If especially your initial photo is not within Amazon's terms of service, and B, doesn't convey the value and the beauty and the need and the passion in that one photo, you'll never get them to click through to see the listing. Not enough margin. I know someone who they were getting started with bundling and they went nuts with product and they just started buying a bunch of stuff because they thought it was cool and they put way too much in there. So she ended up breaking up that giant bundle. I told her to break it up into smaller bundles because the bundle price point was like $150 for a Valentine's related bundle. And it didn't make sense for that target market. So she broke it up into 2 or 3 smaller related bundles and she sold them. So make sure that you have enough margin and your price point is reasonable for that target market. And that, again, it comes down to doing your market research and your competitive research to find out what's appropriate for that bundle, and make sure you're making money on it as well. Overthinking and perfectionism, these are kind of related, right? We tend to overthink things and not take action and make things happen and just do it. And the cool thing about doing bundles as opposed to, buying a container of a private label product is that you really can source a dozen or 2 dozen or 3 dozen to put together 3 dozen bundles or a couple of dozen bundles to test it out. So your risk level is low because you can test out smaller quantities when bundling. So don't overthink and lose out on the opportunity. Just take action and get your first bundle done. And then perfectionism. You can always tweak and refine based on how well it sells and the feedback you get from customers. Okay, so bundle examples. I really like this bundle. This is beautiful. The image on it is gorgeous. And in fact, I had the visceral in January when I was looking for fitness stuff. I had this visceral shut up and take my money reaction to this listing. That's why I wanted to share it with you. The rank is fabulous. And by the way, if you don't have this, it's called Rev Seller. This box here that gives me this data, it just gives me data at a glance on my listings, and it's called Rev Seller. And it's a yearly subscription, but it's really, really cheap. And it's super helpful to have that right on the listing. So they've got beautiful photographs all the way through, gorgeous listing, great, I'm going to stop everybody who's coming on my videos here, great features here, and a fabulous title. Really like this bundle. This is an example of a great bundle for Get Fit. Right, and I didn't go deep on the keyword research, but I do in the Bundle Masterclass. We really break down. I do a lot of over the shoulder. You can watch me break down how to do keyword research, and we might have even done this bundle to show you. Okay, so here's another bundle. Okay, so where to source? Where to source? I get people saying, "Well, I can't." How do you get approved by wholesale sources? And it's really not that hard. I think we do a lot of overthinking that keeps us from getting started, okay? So you ask yourself the viability question first. And my question is, do I have long-term access to this bundle's products? Now, this question, by default, if you're doing only seasonal bundles and you're sourcing at a local store, you will only be able to get Valentine's products during Valentine's Day if you're sourcing locally, right? So that's why I like evergreen bundles, because I can build out bundles long term. Another thing you want to look at, if you're buying liquidation products that you can buy a lot of, I actually have a bundle that's built on a liquidation product, which is this really cool wallet. It's beautiful. And I bought out the supplier. They had this great price on it, and I bought them all. By all, it was about 600 of them. I can't get them from that supplier again. Now what I can do is I can go to China and I can find a supplier who can make this wallet for me, right? But I am limited to how many bundles I can sell because I can't easily replenish that particular wallet. So the viability question is, if this bundle hits, can I reorder the bundle, all of the bundle pieces from the different suppliers forever, or not forever? Can I keep reordering them? So that's one of the questions you want to ask. Retail stores, again, you're limited because if you're sourcing at a retail store, you're limited as to what they have, and you're kind of doing RA. I love wholesale. I do, especially developing relationships with, I have 2 suppliers I've developed relationships with who will put my bundles together for me because I'm using their products. So they'll bundle 3 of their products together for me, put my label on it. One of them puts labels on, the other doesn't, but they'll send it in Amazon for me, and I can have Amazon label. So, there are ways to streamline the process and outsource it. Liquidation-based product for use in multiple bundles. Again, liquidation-based, if you can't replenish a specific bundle item, but if you can buy 500 an item and it sells 100 a month, you've got 500, or 5 months worth of inventory. Manufacturer, you can have products manufactured at AliExpress, Alibaba, global sources, China, India, Mexico, Canada, in the US. Brand owners will white label their own products for you. So if I've got a product like, I don't know, let's say it's a journal or something, or a little, during back to school time, I like to do these organization bundles for kids who are going to college, right? And it's got all the little desk things you need on it. It's a bundle of 4 or 5 things. right? So I can go to a manufacturer who already has one of those created and ask them, and of course I'll pay a small fee, but ask them to put my brand name on it. So I actually own that bundle. Etsy's a great way to source products because you can actually get handmade products done, which lock down competition proofs your bundle. And local stores, you can look at the labels when you find a product at a local store, flip it over, look at the label to find out who manufactures it, and then contact that manufacturer. Okay, so here are just a couple of ideas. This is 2 Google searches, just 2. Took me 5 minutes to do, 6 minutes to do. I searched for wholesale plush, and I came across this site. Write it down, Joissu, JOISSU.com. On the first page, came up. I didn't do a lot of searching on this, and they had some really good prices with small quantity. So I could buy 4 dozen of these little guys for 72 cents each or 85 cents each, right? And the more I buy, the less it is. But what a cute little bundle here. So these are all sea animals, plush sea life. So how easy would it be to put together a sea life plush bundle with an educational book on these animals, on sea life animals, right? Yeah, I mean, that's it right there. So these 6 animals plus an educational book. And you can actually have that book written so that you own that content. Okay, here's the next example. So this is an example of private labeling or white labeling. So I put in private label baking supplies because let's say I wanted to put together a bundle of, or I wanted to create. Somebody mentioned it in the chat, putting together like a rub bundle of different kinds of spices, rubs, right? But instead of having those spices manufactured myself, I looked for private label baking supplies, and I found these 2 here: private label Clabber Girl and private label cookie manufacturer. Now, I've highlighted for clients who do not require their own recipe, we have private label cookie options available. So these folks will actually just put my label on their products. So the other one over here, Clabber Girl, says you can build your company's brand equity and value by your branded baking ingredients. So you could actually have an entire ingredients package for a unicorn cakes baking set with everything in there, just as an example, because I mentioned unicorns earlier, but your label is actually on the packaging. Okay, so, and this was, again, just 5 or 6 minutes of searching those 2 things, the wholesale plush and the private label baking supplies. Okay, another way to get product ideas, go to AliExpress. Not product ideas so much as niche market ideas. And I searched for kitchen organization, and pretty quickly I found this little thing. Now let's say somebody's got a new apartment, or they're going into a dorm environment, they're going to college with a shared dorm, or they've got their first apartment or a new house. You put together a bundle of different colors, so a pink kitchen organization bundle, and you could have towels, the towel holder, all of the supplies, and the plastic holder, the kitchen holder, the key holder, and you do variations of these kitchen bundles based on color. It could be a red kitchen, brown kitchen, green, blue, retro, right? And this was just AliExpress with this one search. So I just wanted to give you some ideas of how easy it is to find things just by searching. So here's an example of what not to do. So here's someone who went to the dollar store and they bought 2 packs of stickers and 1 or 2 packs of these little foam hearts. So I'm not sure what need, what passion, what desire, what problem they're solving. They're not solving any problem for a customer, which of course is illustrated in their rank, and they're losing 92 cents on this because they're selling it for $3.07. So this is an example of what not to do in a bundle. When you do your research as to what your customers want, then you're going to do a bundle like this. This bundle, look at this. There's all sorts of workout equipment plus a carry bag, right? Where this is, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't solve any problem. Okay, example of a poor bundle. We got that. Competition proof your bundles. I like this one. Source from various suppliers. Don't get all your stuff from one store, from one wholesale supplier. All right, you always want to put something in there if it's a custom piece or unique packaging. So for a lot of ways that a lot of times in my bundles will be like maybe just 2 or 3 pieces, but I'll have a custom box made for it, you know, with gold embossing if it's if I'm going more for high end, for luxury. So I'll put unique packaging on it. You can also put a custom piece in there. So you guys know I love skulls and zombies as products. Not that it's necessarily, they're not necessarily passions of mine, but I know they're passionate niche markets. So I think I've got about 900 zombie mugs, but they're his and her zombie mugs. And I'll put that particular bundle has multiple pieces in it, and one of them is actually a zombie crossword puzzle and a zombie pen. Now I had the crossword puzzle created by somebody on Fiverr, and I sourced the pens from AliExpress in China, and I sourced the mugs from somewhere else. But it's a breakfast bundle. Oh, and then I've got coffee in there. So I haven't put my label on the coffee yet, but that's the next step. I'll put like zombie coffee, you know, wake up and growl or something we'll call it. I haven't decided yet. But so I've got multiple pieces from different places and multiple custom pieces in that bundle. And then you can put a checklist, a cheat sheet, anything that adds value to the bundle, to the customer, and is custom. But you want to add value. You don't just want to throw in something, anything. It's all about adding value to the customer. Okay, so I know we're coming up on the hour here. I'm just going to keep going. If you guys are okay, just say yes in the chat. Let me know you're still here, you're hanging in there. Versions. So creating versions of the same bundle maximizes your bundle content. It allows you to create different options for a fanatical niche market. So it could be something as simple as you've got one, we talked about versions a second ago with the kitchen versions of different colors, okay? So, and it allows you to negotiate the best price for your main item. So let's say you've got a bundle that's got a main item, like a journal at the heart of it, or a writing book, and they're all blue. And maybe this isn't the best example, but then you can add 3 items to it for somebody who loves dogs, and then 3 items to it for somebody who loves cats, right? But the main item that's your most expensive, now you can order twice as many and negotiate with your supplier to get a better price because you're ordering twice as many. So think about how you can maximize your bundle concepts by creating different versions for your fanatical niches. It's faster and easier to prep that way because then you can create, you can send them all to a prep center, or you can have employees prep it, and it's just faster and easier. The least amount of pieces you have that are unique. I didn't say that quite right, but if you've got 5 pieces to a bundle and 3 of them are the same, and then the other 2 are different, and you're creating 3 versions, right? So then you can set up an assembly line, for example, that makes it easier to prep. Okay, leverage variations on listings. So you can create a listing that's got variations like the kitchen pieces, where it's one listing, but you've got yellow, green, purple, blue, black, gray, etc. Okay. So is everybody on the same page here? Because I'm going to give you an exercise. How you guys doing? I'm going to come over to the chat and see how you guys are doing. I know I talk fast, but it's because I want to give you a ton of content. You're still here. Awesome. Okay. Joy Bell, Laura, Leslie, great. Awesome. How you guys doing? Are you having fun? Is this good? Awesome. Okay. So we're going to keep going. I'm going to give you an exercise here. So for the next 30, you can easily plan a bundle in 30 days or less. That is my goal for you. So you'll want to do your market research, Google, Amazon, Pinterest, all the ways I just showed you, and then more. In the Bundle Masterclass, I show you a ton of ways to do market research, and I actually let you watch over my shoulder in a bunch of live niche market research webinars I do. Check your Keepa charts history for related products. So Keepa charts, if you're doing seasonal bundles and you pull up a bundle that looks awesome, but it's got a really poor rank, but it's maybe a fitness bundle, you want to look at the Keepa charts from when the seasonal bundle is in season, okay? So just because something doesn't have a healthy rank right now doesn't mean that it didn't back in Valentine's period the year before. Check retailers for seasonal displays. So these retailers, these guys have they're on top of it. They have algorithms. You walk into any big box store. I love Sam's Club and Costco walking in, Walmart, to see because they're a season ahead of us. You know how you walk into a Michael's or a Hobby Lobby, and in August, in July, they've got Christmas stuff out already. So these stores know what the next season what the next niche is for the next season. And they already start stocking shelves with things, the season prior. So you can get an idea of what's coming up just by walking up and down aisles of big box stores. Get a journal and capture your niche market and product ideas and costs. And in the Bundle Masterclass, I give you actually a bundle planner that you can print out and then just fold it up, keep it with you, and you can jot down ideas when you're walking around stores. And then, of course, join the Bundle Masterclass. So I invite you to join the Bundle Masterclass. I'm giving everybody $50 off. Just use the discount code LOVE, because I love you guys. Use the discount code LOVE. You'll save $50, bringing it down to $299. Now, my plan is to raise the price on March 1 to $399 or $499. I haven't decided yet, but I know it's going up at March 1. So the price right now with the discount is just $299. You get niche market discovery evaluation, 42 plus lessons, and I'm always adding more. And you get lifetime access to not only the course and the new material, but also the Facebook group, the mastermind group, checklists, supplier lists, vertical product creation, competition proofing your bundles, how to know your numbers, listing creation optimization, how to create photographs, how to use external marketing to drive traffic to your bundle, and then also how to automate and outsource and delegate your bundle creation and your listing creation. You get live video presentations. Almost every lesson has an exercise at the end, because I believe that we learn the best when we watch something and we learn something, but then we implement it right away. So I encourage you, and no matter what it is that is on your learning plate for now, that you work on implementing it right away. You learn something and then you put it into use. So live video presentation, there's show and tell videos, interviews with industry leaders, workshops, checklists, exercises, private Facebook group, lifetime access. And then I'm going to give you my goal setting workshop as a bundle, as a bonus as well, where you're going to get clear on your why so you can maintain motivation. We're all ADD all over the place, so my goal setting workshop is going to help you stay on track. I'm going to give you some tools on how to prioritize what ideas to go after first, get clarities on the products you're working on, how to reverse engineer your goals into daily actions, and you leave that workshop with a 90-day action plan, and you'll get that workshop right away. It's recorded, and when you register for the Bundle Masterclass, you'll get access to that goal setting workshop right away. And learn how to build a social and professional support network. Masterminding is huge.